Hello everyone! I hope you're all doing well and I am back with another video. This is my second video for Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month. Today's topic is again going to be a bit heavier and may cause offense to some people. However, this topic is incredibly important and I'm coming to you from a place of love and education. That topic today being sexuality and dating as a disabled person. They can be very rocky roads to navigate, and for me, it gets even more rocky as a queer disabled person. There is a shocking amount of ableism in the LGBTQ community, which I am hoping to cover in greater detail as a separate topic another time. But dating and sex in general as a disabled person has been an experience, to say the least. I want to pause here to add a trigger warning. This video will be discussing multiple aspects of sex and sexuality from disabled perspectives, as well as sexual assaults committed against disabled people. Now, I will say I have been pretty lucky in some of my partners, but I've also had a lot of experiences in dating and sex that able-bodied people just don't have. In my teenage years, and even into my early 20s, I was able to hide my cerebral palsy for the most part and pass as an able-bodied person. But that was a double-edged sword that came with people I was interested in accusing me of lying about being able-bodied. Even though I'd never pretended I didn't have cerebral palsy, I just wasn't using the mobility aids that I did as a child and that I do now. Or there was a partner I had that wanted a gold sticker for dating a disabled person. Once we were in a thrift shop and a random woman came up to tell them how brave my partner was for dating me and for being seen in public with me. And they soaked that attention up like a sponge. Thanks. The dating pool that I have had access to in my life has largely consisted of able-bodied people, which has been problematic. Imagine, if you will, having to explain your medical history over and over and over again to the people you're interested in, hoping it won't scare them off, because it will come up over the course of our relationship. And to be clear, it does scare most of them off, and those that haven't been able to handle it haven't lasted very long. I am very open about my sexuality. I always have been. Despite what society tells us, I'm allowed to be openly sexual and proud. Society says that disabled people aren't real options in the dating pool, and we shouldn't be openly sexual either because we just aren't desirable. And I call bullshit on that. I'm disabled and still sexy. It's possible to be both, and I am. In fact, I have been asked several times in my life by random able-bodied strangers, both to my face and online, how do you even have sex, though? 1, as if that's any of their business. 2, disabled people can and do have sex, and this really needs to not be surprising to able-bodied people. 3, sex is not the be-all, end-all of dating. Even if I couldn't, or heaven forbid didn't want to, have sex, I am still worthy of loving and being loved by other people. The only people that need to know how I even have sex, though, are the people that are actually having sex with me. And then there are those on the completely opposite end of that pendulum swing, from not believing that disabled people can or should have sex, to those that are known in the disabled community as devotees. These are the people that sexually fetishize disability, and to be quite honest, these people terrify me. They don't truly view me as a human being, but more like a convenient sex toy that's easily controlled. The able-bodied people in both camps about whether or not I am a worthy sexual partner have generally the same thoughts about us, but two different approaches to it. Both camps look at us as less than human, and therefore we either shouldn't be having sex at all, or we should only have sex to benefit someone else. And again, I'm adding a trigger warning because here is where I'm gonna start discussing the ugly stuff. DisabilityJustice.org has some truly dark and sad statistics about disabled people and sexual assault, including 83% of women with disabilities will be sexually assaulted in their lives. Just 3% of sexual abuses involving people with developmental disabilities are ever reported. 50% of girls who are deaf have been sexually abused compared to 25% of girls who are hearing. 54% of boys who are deaf have been sexually abused in comparison to 10% of boys who are hearing. Women with a disability are far more likely to have a history of undesired sex with an intimate partner, 19.7% versus 8.2%. Approximately 80% of women and 30% of men with developmental disabilities have been sexually assaulted. Half of these women have been sexually assaulted more than 10 times. I myself am a part of those statistics. I have been assaulted more times than I can count. And I know that many of those assaults were in part because I'm disabled and easier to subdue because of it. But despite these experiences, I'm still an openly sexual person because I'm a human with every right to be. I have done pin-up shoots both with and without my mobility aids because I have as much right to as any able-bodied person. My photographer has a YouTube channel that I will link to in the description of this video. Now, the reason I bring up those very scary statistics and touch upon my own experiences briefly is for a few reasons. 1. Able-bodied people need to know these statistics because knowledge is power, and if you know, you can help stop it. 2. I am tired of staying quiet about my experiences because they're uncomfortable for people to hear about. 3. To remind every single able-bodied person that watches this video that everyone in the disabled community is a human being with the same needs that you have. And 4. To remind able-bodied people that you could become disabled at any point in time, and then you'll get to join this club, and it's not fun and games in here. We don't deserve to be used and abused the way that we are. We deserve love. And I'm very fortunate that I've found a partner that loves me even with my cerebral palsy and all my other accompanying illnesses. My current partner is truly amazing, and I wasn't sure I'd ever be able to find someone like them or have a relationship like the one we have now. And they love me and my open sexuality. They are my biggest support in that regard. They find me beautiful with my mobility aids, which has been a very hard lesson for me to learn. But they're right. I am beautiful with or without my mobility aids. I don't need to take off my aids to be seen as beautiful. And if someone says something rude to me about my braces or cane, they obviously aren't going to be someone that I would consider being with. Hello, my name is Red. I'm disabled. Still sexy. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more of my content. And I'm linking both my awesome photographer and disabilityjustice.org so you can learn more about the statistics that I mentioned in this video. Stay safe, stay sane. I will see you soon.